recycling, neighborhood and local food programs, and renewable energy, all helping us to become more sustainable. That's coming up on this edition of Connected Colorado. Hi, I'm Wendy Brockman. We're here at the National Renewable Energy Laboratory right here in Golden. This particular building is the largest net zero commercial office building in the country. We'll find out what that means and tell you about the great innovations here at NREL coming up. But first, let's take a look at the green living practices that are part of Lakewood's new Sustainable Neighborhoods program.
We live in a state full of scenic beauty and endless outdoor activities. Here, Mother Nature gives you a playground right in your own backyard. It's important that we take care of this beautiful environment and protect our ecosystem for the long-term future of our community. Making small changes in our neighborhoods can collectively make significant impacts for improved sustainability in our city and region. The City of Lakewood has created a one-of-a-kind innovation to strengthen and grow sustainability efforts in Lakewood and around the metro area. It's called the Sustainable Neighborhoods Program, and it's a very cool way to make a good neighborhood a great one. The Lakewood Sustainable Neighborhoods Program is a certification program that helps homeowners create a more livable neighborhood and reduce their household's ecological and carbon footprint. We can do this by recycling more, reducing energy demands, conserving water, reducing emissions, and creating sustainable landscape through xeriscaping and the selection of water-wise plants. All of these things improve the environmental health and quality of our neighborhoods. When we educate ourselves in sustainable practices together, we get to know our neighbors and build a stronger, safer, and more enjoyable community. Here's how it works. The Sustainable Neighborhoods Program encourages residents to participate in workshops, special events, and initiatives that enable them to score points for certification. A workshop might be an expert talking about residential energy conservation or green building. A special event might look like a food drive or a recycling day in the neighborhood. An initiative could mean participating in an Adopt a Park program or getting home energy audits in the neighborhood. Participation is encouraged but not required of every resident. However, higher levels of participation earn more points or credits for the neighborhood and determine the kind of certification it receives. There are two certifications: Participating Neighborhood and Outstanding Neighborhood. Participating neighborhoods earn 60 credits within a year. Outstanding neighborhoods earn a minimum of 100 credits. For a neighborhood to maintain its certification, it must participate in ongoing workshops and events to earn additional credits each year. Neighborhoods that earn certification also receive recognition from the City Council, custom signage, and special offers and expertise from community residents and business partners. Successful and ongoing projects include the IBER Resiliency Circle, a monthly potluck featuring a guest speaker.
In IBER, it's really very popular, very popular. It's really built community locally. People have more, I think, neighborhood pride as a result.
Making energy usage more efficient, affordable, and eco-friendly was the goal for Southern Gables. The City of Lakewood helped them collect 2 years of energy data from Excel and now host workshops and collect resources to assist residents in conserving energy.
I couldn't say enough how much the Sustainable Neighborhood Program has meant to myself and to our entire neighborhood. It's a great sense of accomplishment and empowerment when you work together on something like this, and it really gives you a way to feel like you're having an impact. So I think that anyone that would be interested in sustainability would find this work really fulfilling.
A beautiful garden emerged from the Sustainable Neighborhoods Program with the hard work of IBER residents in partnership with Denver Urban Gardens and Jeffco Schools. The Sustainable Neighborhoods Program offers a new way for communities to address sustainability with citizen buy-in. This new way of thinking landed the program the Colorado chapter of the American Planning Association Community Engagement Award in 2013, the Excellence in Sustainability Award from the American Planning Association in 2014, and has gained visibility from other communities who are working to adopt the program. The City and County of Denver entered into a partnership with the City of Lakewood and launched a pilot version of the program in 2014.
Lakewood had a great idea. We were thinking along these lines of how do we combine our neighborhood programs with our energy conservation sustainability programs, and we were putting together a package like that, and then we looked to the west and there Lakewood was doing the same thing.
Sustainable living is not only good for the planet, it saves you money. It builds community and healthy neighborhoods and creates respect and appreciation for the earth. Sustainable living also makes you feel good. Want to know how to get your city or neighborhood involved? Visit sustainableneighborhoodnetwork.org for information about what neighborhoods are doing and how to get moving toward a more sustainable future. Call Jonathan Wachtel with the Sustainable Neighborhoods Program at 303-987-7510 for information. He'll answer your questions and get you started.
So many great things happening in Lakewood. Joining me now is Frank Ruccavina with the National Renewable Energy Laboratory in Golden, otherwise known as NREL. Thank you for having us.
Thanks for being here.
What is NREL? What's the mission here? What does it do?
The National Renewable Energy Lab is the nation's foremost lab in renewable energy and energy efficiency research and development and commercialization.
You do a lot of work here.
We do a lot of work here.
What are some of the innovations that have come out of the research?
We've made major impacts in most of the renewable energy arenas in the nation. For instance, we are home to the most energy efficient solar cell in the world. Just recently we got to 45.7% energy efficiency. In addition to that, we play major roles in cellulosic bioenergy, in the development of hydrocarbons from biomass. The transportation world, in addition to electric vehicles, electric vehicle charging, battery technology. We have the only 2 hydrogen fueling stations in the state of Colorado so far. So we play a role in almost every arena regarding renewable energy.
We mentioned earlier that NREL has the largest net zero commercial office building in the country. What does net zero mean?
Net zero, defined by NREL, is that it produces all of the energy that it takes to operate the building and for all of the work that goes on, all of the computers and the database and the data center and everything that's in that building, all that energy is produced on or around the building.
You don't need to pull from any other sources.
Correct.
It's all contained.
That doesn't mean that we're disconnected from the grid. We have grid power, but we produce more in the summer, produce more power from the systems that are on it. We use from the grid in the winter. So it's all about a net zero annual basis, that we produce more electricity and heat and things than we actually use in that building. And that building has 1,300 occupants.
So did it cost you more to incorporate these energy features into the design during the construction?
Actually, no. We built the building for $278 per square foot construction cost, which is about the same as any other grade A office building. But we did it with the specification in mind that we were going to build the most energy efficient building we could, so that we have to put the least amount of renewable energy on the building to make it operate at net zero.
What are some of the sustainable features of the building?
Well, it's a really interesting building. It's built on the technology of massing. So the walls are very thick, concrete, along with 4 inches of foam insulation, very energy efficient windows that provide daylighting into the building. 100% of the workspaces in the building are daylit. The building heats and cools on radiant heating rather than the standard air cooling heating, because you can move water 10 times more efficiently than you can move air. So it's a much more effective, energy efficient way to heat and cool the building. Use our climate in Colorado here in the summer months when it's warm out. In the evenings cool down, we can open the windows in the building and vent the building out. In fact, the building's automation system does it automatically in the evening when it senses that the temperature is cooler outside than inside.
NREL is at the forefront of energy design, and your building is a reflection of that, so you are walking the walk, so to speak.
That's correct, and part of our sustainability mission is to try and get that message out to everybody that we can and help move those technologies to be developed throughout the nation and the world. And one of the things that we do is we put all of the information that we have on the building design, the specifications, out there for the world to use. For instance, if you look at nrel.gov, you can go to the sustainability webpage and find the research support facility. It'll give you tons and tons of information on the specifications, the design build. In fact, you can even get a copy of the request for proposals that we sent out.
NREL is a true gem in Colorado. And there's so much more to talk about, Frank, so we're going to be back with you in a few minutes, correct?
Correct.
All right. When it comes to sustainability, it helps not only the environment, but the community and sometimes people's lives as well. Let's take a look at a bicycle recycling program in Arvada. A tweak here and a tweak there.
Stops on a dime.
Tighten the brakes, a few more adjustments, and one more bicycle is ready to give away.
Janine, we're done.
That's right, give away. It's all part of the Lake Arbor Optimist Club's program to give refurbished bikes to needy kids.
I think you could say, we've probably given away close to 200 bikes over the last 4 years.
The program has taken over Steve Selly's garage and storage unit.
My wife is very understanding, as you can see here.
And taken over the Arvada Automotive office of fellow Optimist Club member Ken Morfitt, where bikes are stored and worked on too.
But the demand has gone up and the program has expanded so much that 50 is the largest number I've had.
But mostly the bike giveaway program has taken over the hearts of those working on it and provided rewards beyond words.
Number one, the end, having a kid be able to ride the bike. I get to see a lot of that being, at the school.
It began when retired Jeffco principal Steve Selly met up with fellow bike enthusiast Dan Sullivan. They proposed the Bicycle Recycle program to the Optimist Club, which decided to adopt 2 schools for the program. Rose Hill Elementary in Commerce City, where Dan works, and Arvada K-8 here in Arvada.
And there are a lot of needy kids at both of those schools.
Dan's 15 years of prior work in a bicycle shop has come in handy.
He's our resident consultant and bike mechanic. Replace tires, tubes, grips, seats, pedals.
I have a routine that I go through to make sure, everything is tight and safe. The wheels are true, the brakes work, the gears shift, and, everything is safe for the kids to ride.
The bicycles come from everywhere: auctions, donations, junk piles. A bicycle recycle collection day sponsored by the city of Arvada turned up more than 60 youth bicycles for the program this year. Some bikes are in good shape, others not so much, but the group hasn't found a bike they couldn't use.
We're, I think, the recyclers supreme. And I don't know if you can see in the background, these shelves that are behind me here actually have all kinds of bike parts.
And they're put to use again, for a second or third or fourth life. And they may not be really shiny, but they're all, good bicycles, and the kids like them, and they serve a good purpose.
The Optimist Club raises funds to buy bicycles and bike parts that aren't donated. Optimist members drive those fundraisers, like the one at Arvada Automotive, where some referred customers pay for car work by writing a check to the Optimist Club instead of paying Arvada Automotive.
They just write a check to the Arvada Optimist Club for whatever they think is a fair price, and we just give it all to the Optimist Club.
Giveaway day at the school is usually in May, with the thought that the kids will have a bike to ride all summer long. Kids sign up at the school to request a bike.
If there's more than one student, which there usually is, for a particular bike size, then we do a drawing.
The kids line up and they get their helmets and they're playing with their bikes, and then when we say like 1, 2, 3, go, and they're yours, they are down the hall and out the school, pedal home at that point, but they just have a blast.
It makes all of our work here worthwhile.
The Lake Arbor Optimist Club gives about 30 bikes a year to each of the adopted schools. The club also partners with the Wheat Ridge Optimist Club to provide bikes for the Santa Shop at 58th and Independence, and with the Golden Optimist Club to provide bikes for all ages, including adults, at Heritage Square. If you know someone who needs a bike, or if you want to donate a bike, contact Steve Selly by email at steveselly@gmail.com. And if you have storage space to donate for their growing program, they would especially love to hear from you. Great community effort in Arvada. We are back with Frank Ruccavina with the National Renewable Energy Laboratory in Golden. We talked about your net zero building. A lot went into the construction of that to make it energy efficient. How do you manage the operational side?
Well, we want to make sure that we're continuing to operate to the design parameters that we developed it for. We meter almost everything in the building. We can even tell you if the lights are on in the elevator. And so when you walk into the building, you actually, in the hallway, you can see a monitor that looks at the daylighting, the amount of plug load, what the data center is using. It gives you kind of the whole mass balance of how much energy that we're using and how much energy we're producing on the PV arrays, photovoltaic solar arrays that are on the building.
So what are some of the other sustainable programs that have come out of NREL?
As I mentioned, we look at the whole universe of how we operate at NREL. So we're looking at our waste, our procurement, we're looking at how our employees commute to work and minimizing their amount of greenhouse gas emissions from their commute. We look at all of the items that are relative to our business, like the amount of travel that we do, ground travel and air travel. We look at putting the maximum amount of renewable energy and energy efficient technologies into our laboratory operations. So we kind of look at everything that we can to try and minimize our impact.
Fascinating, groundbreaking stuff. Thank you so much for having us, Frank.
Thank you, and thank you for coming out.
Another aspect of sustainability is more self-reliance. What can people do themselves that fosters self-sufficiency as well as builds community? Well, in Denver, a relatively simple change in regulations expands access to affordable foods and creates an opportunity for families to earn a little extra income.
A recent update to the Denver zoning code now allows Denver residents to sell from their homes fresh produce and cottage foods that they grow and make themselves with a permit. The change allows Denver residents living in residential zone districts to sell from their homes fresh produce they have grown themselves and cottage foods, such as jams and honey that they have made themselves in their home kitchen. Denver joins other cities like Seattle, San Francisco, Philadelphia, and Kansas City in bringing the health and economic benefits of at-home produce sales to its residents. Mayor Hancock has expressed his support, acknowledging that many Denver families are food insecure and struggle to obtain fresh, locally grown food. The mayor believes this change will work to increase healthy food options for families and add new opportunities for supplemental earnings that can make a real difference in the economic and physical health of lower-income residents. The ability to sell homegrown and homemade foods can provide economic and social benefits to residents all over the city.
The idea is to let folks who are in their own homes start a little side business, make a little extra cash without a lot of government interference, because we know that these foods are low risk and they're good to get into the hands of neighbors.
I'm just thrilled about this, and I encourage other people to get involved in gardening and growing food because it's beyond rewarding.
Yeah, so every morning my son gets
Oh my God.
in his pajamas.
Oh my. That's good stuff.
There's more.
The new law allows residents with a permit to sell raw and uncut fresh fruits, vegetables, and herbs grown by the seller. Whole eggs produced by chickens or ducks, owned and kept by the seller at home. Cottage foods, which are low-risk, unrefrigerated food products made on-site, such as spices, teas, honey, jams, and certain baked goods, as defined in the Colorado Cottage Food Act. The sale of marijuana or marijuana-infused products is not allowed. Sales from the permit holder or grower's home are allowed from 8 a.m. to dusk, indoors or outdoors. Some limitations do apply, including those that apply to all permitted home occupations per the Denver zoning code. The Colorado State University Denver Extension Office can help you get started. CSU Extension offers resources for soil testing, as well as classes on urban farming, cottage foods, and food safety. Scholarships are available for those unable to afford class fees.
What we're going to be doing is to provide that educational opportunities. We'll also be providing information so that individuals who decide to enter into this section of the food system, whether it be as a producer, a farmer, or a consumer, that they can have good information to make good decisions about implementing that business or buying that produce.
Before you start, be sure to get a home occupation zoning permit, and if you plan to sell cottage foods, complete a food safety course. A one-time permit for this home occupation costs $20 and is available at the Wellington Webb Municipal Office Building at 201 West Colfax in Denver. To learn more about getting a home occupation permit, get connected with CSU classes, view a list of permissible cottage foods, and read tips for improving your own home garden. Visit denvergov.org/homebusiness.
If you want to cook up some of those homegrown foods, you need a high energy efficient kitchen, correct?
That's right.
All right, we have our safety goggles on. I'm with Dane Christensen, and we're in one of the very cool labs at the National Renewable Energy Laboratory. This is called the Smart Power Lab. What goes on here?
Well, the Smart Power Lab is really our test bed to develop and enable the home of the future, being an active part of our new energy economy.
So you test washer and dryers, refrigerators, all that stuff.
Oh, that's right. So as you can see behind me, we have a variety of new smart appliances, and these are part of a new wave of appliances that really have data connections. They have some intelligence built in. They have apps that allow you to access them remotely, and it really presages the future of how our homes are going to operate, where a lot of things are going to be connected and coordinating their own energy use in order to provide you the same amount of service, comfort, and convenience that you expect, but possibly reduce your energy consumption a lot and provide benefits back to the electric grid that we need for our own energy security and stability.
So what does the home of the future look like? How does it function?
Well, the home of the future really is going to have a lot of the same appliances that we are very comfortable with, and it's going to operate, look, and feel a lot like what our homes today look like. It's not a Jetsons type future, but what you won't see is really what we're working on here, and that is the intelligence that's built in behind the scenes. So our appliances now have communication. They have some computation on board, and they really allow some control capabilities that we've never had previously. So I equate this a little bit to the way our autos work versus 30 years ago. Now we have ABS brakes, we have power windows, we have cars that can even are starting to be able to steer out of an accident. And this is what we're expecting to see in our home of the future. And so what we're looking at is the possibility of providing even better comfort with much lower energy consumption and really make your life a lot easier so you don't even have to think about energy. All you do is you walk in, you can tell your home your preferences, and it will adapt and help support you the way you live.
If your kitchen could cook for you, that would be a bonus too. So when will this be the norm?
Well, we see a new wave of smart appliances coming onto the market today. And these are really early stage in terms of the overall development. I would guess that roughly in the next 5 to 10 years, the intelligence and the communicating capabilities of these appliances will be the norm across all of our appliances. And they'll make it down into the everyday appliances that you and I can afford and use in our homes. After that, it'll take roughly 15 or so years for all of our old appliances to die and be replaced by these new appliances. So that's roughly the timeline. Somewhere around 20 to 25 years, I think all of our appliances and our homes more generally are going to be much, much smarter and really help us live in a more energy efficient way with equivalent comfort and much lower cost.
Exciting stuff.
It is. Thank you very much for being here.
Thanks for letting us into your lab.
You're welcome.
Another way to protect our environment and be more sustainable is to properly recycle our hazardous waste. Broomfield is making it easy to do just that.
This is the Norman Smith Service Center for City and County of Broomfield, and today is our household hazardous waste event for spring. And what we're doing is we're receiving household hazardous waste chemicals from Broomfield residents along with electronic waste. It's really important because we're trying to keep all these chemicals out of the landfill and being illegally dumped or flushed down the toilets. And basically what's happening is a lot of this stuff either could be recycled, like our light bulbs and fluorescent light bulbs and batteries, or else chemicals are solidified before they actually go to a proper hazardous waste landfill.
The little cans we can take, and then we'll put them on a cart, and then once we're in a cart, we'll take them over there.
Okay. Oh, that's real cool. If it's keeping it out of the landfill, then it's all good.
The weather's good. It's a great time. We're having a lot of fun.
This is a really great resource for Broomfield residents. As a matter of fact, we're one of the few that really has one that's very well organized. I receive calls from all over the state on how we do our event because we take appointments, and we always have several volunteers that are really excited about volunteering for the event.
Yeah, you have to make sure you're identifying things, and sometimes it gets a little bit busy and you can't forget to see what's there.
You have to ask questions. These people are sometimes cleaning out basements and garages of places that they just bought, and so they don't really know what all this stuff is, so you have to ask questions.
Yeah, we have to communicate with the people bringing them in and make sure that they know what's in them. Sometimes they don't even know what's in them, so those are the big question marks for us, is, you know, for safety concerns, to make sure we're not getting anything that's corroded or old or crystallized, stuff that could explode potentially or be flammable or spill on us, cause harm. So it's really important to not be too fast, you know, don't rush.
I've been with the city for 13 years now, and we actually started taking appointments and doing it for a little over 13 years, and we added electronic waste since 2007, and that's been really an asset as far as this, because people can not only drop off their chemicals, but they can drop off their electronics at the same time.
This is a lot of fun. This is, I believe, my 6th year here in Broomfield doing this event. It's a very well-organized event. How big TVs used to be? Well, take a look right here. We still see about 50% of our volume by weight being big DLP, projection, and CRT televisions. This month at ERI, Electronic Recyclers, we're going to recycle 1 million pounds in 1 month for our first time ever.
It's great. You know, it's a good Saturday. Work, make money, and have fun. Meet people, you know, and just enjoy.
What's really exciting about the chemicals that we take, it's not just your normal household chemicals like your bleach or your ammonias or stuff like that. We take a lot of pesticides, herbicides, stuff that are no longer even being manufactured because of their hazard to the environment. And we prefer that we take it and dispose of it properly rather than for just keeping it in their house, such as things like ether that are highly reactive. We're really excited because we're actually working with a company that's called Green Sheen. And instead of solidifying all our paint and disposing of it, they're actually taking our good latex paint, they're actually blending it with other used paint, and they're selling it through Habitat. So we have all this waste, instead of going to the landfill, it's going to be reused. The team speaks for itself. If you just look around and look at our organization, I get calls from all over the state continually asking me how we operate our organization, asking for our procedures that are in place.
It's a good way to keep a lot of this stuff out of landfills. Its flammables are taken care of the way they should be, not thrown down sewers, not thrown in the trash, so it's a good way to protect the citizens' environment as well.
When it's in the environment, it's going to find its way back into, you know, the water supply or the landfill, and just by doing this, it just keeps, you know, the environment cleaner and makes our job easier, not having to deal with as many chemicals in the environment.
City and County of Broomfield has very important to have sustainability as part of its culture. They backed all the programs that we have. They support us in everything that we do, and their preference always is to have a sustainable community. And it also helps beautify the community. Instead of having stuff illegally dumped, we have an opportunity to take it from them. It also dovetails with our large item spring cleanup. This event's very important to me. As a matter of fact, this is my favorite event out of the year. I love doing this because it's not only providing a service for the community, it's something that's dear to my heart. That's what my background is in waste. And it's just a way to educate people on what they should do with their waste and waste minimization, and it gives us an opportunity to meet the residents.
As you can see, some exciting sustainability projects are happening all around our area. For more information, check with your local government or visit nrel.gov. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Connected Colorado. On the next edition of Connected Colorado, we'll look at some exciting projects to help make our communities more sustainable, like recycling, neighborhood and local food programs, and renewable energy. Join me Thursdays at 8.